Hi, my name is Del Marie. I am a creative visionary and performing artist. I am the founder of a Del Marie production representing East Garfield Park, and you are listening to Community Leaders Podcast.
So, Del Marie, what do you do?
I am a creative visionary and a performing artist. I'm the founder of a Del Marie production, and I represent East Garfield Park, and you are listening to Community Leaders Podcast.
We sure are. Hey, and I'm your host, Los, here on the Community Leaders Podcast. And we have Del Marie today, and we're going to get into her life.
Pew, 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 pew.
So what makes you do the things that you do?
What makes me do the things that I do is I'm a performing artist, so I'm a musician, I'm a dancer, I'm a writer, and an author, and a lot of things in the arts. But right now, what I'm mostly doing is my music and dance. And so what makes me do the things that I do is I fell in love with them at a young age, and I enjoy them. When I'm doing them, I'm in what they call the flow state, and I'm in my element, and I also believe that I'm in my purpose.
Now, I was reading up on you, and it says here, do you also teach?
Yes, I'm an arts educator.
Where do you teach?
I teach all across the city of Chicago. So I get to work at different locations, different schools, different programs. And I basically teach dance, rap, poetry, or storytelling.
And people hire you for this?
Absolutely.
Awesome. How far have you gone with this new career? Well, not a new career because you've been doing it for a long time,
Yeah,
right?
I was like, woo.
How far have you gone with this?
Very far. So far that I've been through probably over 30 schools in the city of Chicago. I've taught in other states like Iowa, and I've even taught in the juvenile detention centers.
Oh, wow.
Yep, taught rap to the boys in the juvenile detention center. And it was great.
How did that go?
It was great. It was like had its best moments and then had its not so great moments. It's the detention center. But overall, it was probably one of the most impactful experiences I've ever had. Just because, wow, it was just different. It was interesting. It was different. And it made me, it gave me more understanding of kind of the young black male psyche. I thought I had to understand it, but I didn't. Not until I met them.
Okay. So you taught them how to dance, rap?
Just rap.
Oh, so you went there for rapping.
Yep.
Okay, so were any of them good?
Yes, that's the thing. I was like, ooh, yo, because like they just be in there rapping all day. So some of them, okay, all of them weren't great. Of course, like that's any class. All your students ain't gonna be the A+ student. But no, they were good. They were good. If they weren't being shy, they were good.
Awesome. So you've been around the city performing. What was your biggest performance here in Chicago?
So it's the one that's coming up.
Okay.
But if you're talking about what I've already done, will probably be the one I did with Taraji P. Henson and BET for Black Girls Rock. And Solange's husband was the director. And if you watch the commercial, it was a promo commercial for the Black Love. And I'm like the main dancer. I'm getting like the main cameo of the dancers. And I was like, oh my God, they chose me. So that was probably the biggest performance I've had in Chicago, even though it was just like a small moment for TV, for the national television. It was really fun.
Because you give back to the kids.
Yep. Do.
Why do you do that?
Because my gifts were planted in me as a child, and that's the magic era. When you're a kid, that's the magic zone. Nothing's impossible, and everything is like you go hard because you're not socialized not to. So whatever your spirit says do, you gonna do it. So if your spirit say you better than Janet Jackson or Jay-Z or somebody, you finna go on that stage and you finna show that crowd that you about to just go do it. So that's why I give back, because I know that a lot of kids have dreams, but they need to see somebody that's executing to like water their seeds so that they can grow into plants, and then to also teach them how to maintain that plant so that when I'm gone, because I'm not going to be your teacher forever, you know, you have the tools to continue your dream, just like the people did me, the teachers and educators that I was blessed to have in my life. They did it for me, so I wanted to do it, give it back.
So when you go to these schools and teach how to dance and perform, do you see impact?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. A lot of the students that I get really close with, it transforms not just their dancing, but their character. So, like, I remember one of the schools I went to, it was on the south side of Chicago. And the students there were really rowdy. Real, just rowdy. Just, like, it was hard for the teachers to get control of them. It was like trying to ride a dragon, trying to, like, get them to have classroom management. And you can't ride a dragon, so you just gotta let that dragon, like, decide when it wants whatever. But, like, I learned that if you give kids what they want, it's easier for them to listen. And I knew what they wanted, so I gave it to them. They wanted to get sturdy. They wanted to get lit. They wanted to turn up. But in my class, you had to do it in an organized way, or you can't do it. And so a lot of them learned to listen better. A lot of them learned that, you know, they learned a little bit more about teachers. Like, oh, these teachers don't just be yelling at us because they hate us or whatever, or they're trying to control us. They're yelling at us because they have something to give us. And a lot of kids don't realize that come from, like, mostly, like, CPS schools. You know, they used to getting yelled at sometimes. So, and that's a generalization, not all. But, you know, they just sometimes feel attacked by teachers more so than loved on, so they rebel a lot more. But, like, once they realize why teachers yelling or doing all this and all of that, it's easier for them to listen. So the classes impacted not just their dancing, but their character. And the school was like, we need you to come back because you've transformed our students. Like, a lot of our students are doing better. They're more community oriented. They're like less violent with each other, and they listen a little better because now they want to see, what do other teachers have to give us?
Awesome. So that's where your heart's at right now?
Yeah.
Awesome. So what are your fondest memories doing what you do?
Probably that group. And so that group, and then let me see. The youth that I work with right now, they're creating new moments for me as we speak. But I'll just go back to that group because it's freshest on my mind. Because I really love all the kids I work with, and they all provide me with magical moments. So it's between that group and, because you triggered some stuff, another group I worked with, which was at a charter school, and it was mixed. So it was like a percentage. It was predominantly like white and Latino, and then there were like a few black students, Asian students, and students just like European immigrants. And that was kind of like my first time working with such a diverse group of students. But to see the culture that they created together and to work with that group was super interesting. And I ended up falling in love with them. They fell in love with me, and we just rocked out. We rocked the school out, it was a lot. So I don't want to be long-winded, but it was beautiful. It was a very beautiful experience.
How long were you there?
I think I was there for like almost a year. And then, almost a year. The group that I'm telling you about, why they were so awesome is because I was able to combine 3 different grades to dance together. And these were all grades that was like crazy together. But because they all wanted to dance in the talent show and to do the dance that I taught them, they were able to practice controlling themselves, even though some of them, it was hard, and some of them failed still, and I still had to yell at them. Collectively, it was just amazing. And I posted it on TikTok, and we went viral.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Awesome.
because they was getting sturdy, and it was like, it looked like the whole school was on stage, because it was like, it was almost, you know, in CPS school, it's like 25 to 30 kids a class. Yeah. So if you got 2 or 3 classes on stage, that's like 50 to 60 students on stage. Yeah. That's between 40 and 60 students all dancing together. So that's what I had. So I was like, I bet I turn your school up. And then I let the video play, and it went viral.
Are those moments for you like a tearjerker? Like when you look back at it and think about it and what you've done, where kids are at right now?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Because I still don't feel like I'm done making an impact.
Okay.
I think when I really feel like okay, I did it. I think that's when the tears will come. But for right now, they just make me proud and they make me want to go harder.
Awesome. So let's take you back to your childhood. What does that look like?
My childhood was, I loved my childhood. It was good. So I was raised with my grandma and the help of my grandpa, and because my mom and dad were like kind of too young, so they took us, but we still got to be with my mom and like spend time with my dad on like weekends or like the days they come to get us. But for the most part, we grew up at grandma's crib. And grandma was strict, and she made us go to school and get education, and like she also like really did her best to spoil us. And so while inside the house and in the schools she had us go to, they were good schools, because she worked hard for us to be smart, to like get like educational scholarships and stuff. Like she was on us, so we were getting scholarships and stuff. Yeah. And so we was going to good schools. But, like, we were still in the hood. So it was kind of like a double upbringing. Mm-hmm. And then my mom, she lived, like, in the projects. So in the house, it's, like, almost like middle-class upbringing. Go to school, it's, like, kind of like a middle-class situation. Mm-hmm. You go outside, though, and you might have to fight today. Somebody gonna try to steal your bike, or somebody gonna be throwing rocks at you, and you gotta throw rocks back, or you finna come home, you just beat somebody up, and you ain't gonna tell your grandma because you scared you're gonna get a whooping because you ain't supposed to be hitting other kids, but you did it anyway. Or like go to my mom's house, the projects, because originally where she was living, it was good. But then like, I don't know what started happening, but like, it was like the culture shifted, and I kind of think it was because of rap music around that time. And so like everybody just got real violent, and then like the communities that we once were like having that was beautiful started becoming like dangerous. Okay. And so of course throughout the evolution, the kids gonna become gangster too, because like you gotta survive. So now y'all just fighting each other too because your parents, whatever. So it was crazy. So my upbringing, I call myself a hybrid because I was having like a double life or a triple life. Mm-hmm. Throughout my experience. So it's something I super appreciated because it allowed me to understand just different types of people and to have different layers of myself, which I think attributes to a lot of my successes, being able to be understanding.
Sounds like your grandparents were really good to you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And you had some great life experiences.
Mm-hmm. I had some really positive experiences, but then, of course, outside and in the type of environments that were there, you're going to experience, like, sometimes some traumatic stuff or, like, some, like, stuff that, you know, you should not be experiencing. So it's, like, it's yin-yang. Mm-hmm.
So when did you fall in love with dance?
Because watching my favorite people, like Michael Jackson, Shirley Temple, Aaliyah, like all those great people, Janet. But then like I was in the after school program and I was a good kid. I was an honors kid. So I wasn't bad. But I heard this sound and it sounded like a monster roaring. And it was like coming through the hall into the like after school homework period where we was forced to be quiet. You have to be quiet and do your work. So everybody doing their work because nobody wants to get yelled at. We doing homework. I'm already done with my homework, so I'm just kind of looking around. But I'm hearing this what is that? I've never heard this sound before. Like, I didn't even think it was music. I was like, yo, y'all don't hear that? Ain't nobody worried about what that is. Like, that's crazy. So, and it's just going, it's getting louder and louder. What is it? So I got up and I like ran out the classroom because I'm like, what is that? I couldn't take it no more. So the teacher's like, Del Marie, get back here. Del Marie, come back to class. I just ran out the classroom. My best friend Maya's like, what are you doing? You gonna get in trouble. I'm like, I don't care. I gotta know what this is. So I went and it was in a classroom. Mm-hmm. It was a classroom and it was like African drummers and it was this lady, I'll never forget. She was dressed in yellow. Mm-hmm. And she was dancing, and she had some teenagers dancing behind her, but they was like struggling to keep up a little bit, and you could tell they was kind of just in there for the little boys that was on the drums. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so like, you know, I'm like, they're inside the monster's mouth, and they moving like it's safe. And I was like, what are they doing? Because I thought the music was a monster. Mm-hmm. I was like, they're in the monster's mouth. What are they doing in the monster's mouth? So she sees me peeking through like the glass because the walls were glass so you could see through. And she beckons me. She says, "Come here." And I'm like, "Nah, lady, I ain't crazy. I ain't finna go in there with y'all. Y'all in a monster's mouth." And so I'm like, "Where's the monster coming from though?" So I'm trying to find it. And all I see is just black men, just with dreads, some with cuts, some with froze, just drumming and sweat just falling off their arms. And they just, ugh. And then, you know, I'm seeing some of the girls holding like some Shaker-Aids. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's the monster's mouth. And so she's like, "Come on." So I walk inside the room. It's loud. It just got so loud. So I'm like still kind of scared. So she's like, "Stand next to me." So I stand next to her. So she shows me a step. And it's like she kind of hopping over the music. Like she like missing a beat and hopping on the other beat. And I'm like, I could do that. So I miss the beat with her and hop on the other beat. Then she does it to like the left. So I do it to the left. Then she does like something else. And I'm like, I could do that. So it was kind of like we was like playing inside of the music. And I was like, this is fun. And so she was like, dang, this little girl keeping up with me. And I'm like, why the teenagers struggling? Because like they were struggling to like hop on the right beat. I'm like, you just hop on it. Like you hop here, you hop there, you put your arm there when that one goes pop. And you know, so like I just thought it was a game. And so from that moment forward, I kept coming back. I never stopped going back to that class. And that's when I realized I had a gift because they started having shows and they would always put me in the front. And I'm like, why are they putting me in the front? Like, I'm the youngest one in here. What y'all doing? But I also was like, the best. When I looked around, I was like, dang, I am doing this better than the other kids. And that's when I realized that I had a gift for dance. And I started just taking other types of dance, hip hop, got a little bit into ballet. I just wanted to figure out how to play the game in the other sounds. And so that's what started my love of dance.
Awesome. So now you also do poetry. What got you into poetry?
Oh, that started probably a little bit before dance. I was always writing. I was kind of quiet, so I didn't always have that many friends because my grandpa had taught me how to read at like 3. And when he taught me how to read, I found out that there were worlds outside of my world. And I wanted to go be nosy and see everybody else's world. So I was in the fairy tale world. I was in the rabbit world. I was in like just different worlds, different cartoon worlds, just reading. And it was fun. And when I would finish a book, it would just leave this feeling inside of me of like, wow, another one. And so eventually I started wanting a certain type of world. I started fiending for like worlds that I didn't have access to. And I was like, maybe I'm supposed to write them. So I started writing worlds. And that's when I started writing my own books and my own like poems. And then I started reading them. And then people started noticing, and I ended up getting like a scholarship award at like 11 because they were like, this girl is gifted with words. And I was like, I just thought I was creating a world for you to enjoy with me.
Awesome.
And that was the start of like, you know, my love of poetry, but it wasn't even necessarily a love. It was more so like I need to go visit this place because life just got real boring. I don't know. That's just like what it was. It just felt good. It felt home to be in stories.
Okay. So you say you also rap?
Yep. The poetry turned into raps.
So now I got to put you on the spot.
Okay. All right.
I want to hear a flow.
21st century girl. Deli on the track, spinning hits quicker than a fish jab when I'm in it. Lyrically I'm villain, rocking all black, check the pigment. We taking over, pulling up to your spot. Fake MCs got a duck shot, callers them jam with ease, balling no beats. Believe, darling, we touching more lives than Trojan. Leaders of the go ham, jam masters, rosters, Barbies, and freaks. If we got them geek tripping and getting with the woes, flow so fabulous. Fans be after need most security than Attica. Mad cause you huff, mad cause we blunt and smoke, thinking this joke like a lady don't tote. Them verbs are master of vocab, blaster, and lead a whole rap game looking like massacre. Cooker cut off all the rookies who looky. I like to leave them real shook since they believe in Sadiddy, girl, the inflow. He checking on my backside, trying to plant a black slash. So that nigga, he can't even get a front door. These expensive rhymes, cut twist with man, got diamonds lining every note I ever wrote. When you step into a queen man, better check the green mask. Make sure you a king or get thrown at my court. And that's a piece.
All right.
That's a piece.
Right.
But I can do something.
Awesome. Okay.
That's a rap piece. But for hip hop, I could do what I did for Windy City Live here if you want.
What's that?
It's called A Dedication to Black Boys growing up in the inner city, just to show them that, like, Black women, we appreciate you and we do see you. And it's an imaginary story about a boy who got caught up with the police and the system for doing something good, but he knew they weren't gonna see it like that, so he was on the run.
And that's a hip hop rapper?
Mm-hmm.
Go for
it. He told him, I'll keep on running like every boy in this country that's black. If it ain't his feet, it's his mind. If it ain't his soul, it's his time. The streets and system be chasing us like a ghost with a knife. Open on black boys can't find. We only get open legs. That's why we sinking to women for the hugs we never had. And no, I can't go to feds. No, I can't even go home. Cause homie, he was a GD and I'm related to Stones. These are the costs that I'm dealt. Black boy living in the city. They tell me there's other options, but really I don't see any. Cause yeah, Dion went to college. I know Antoine's a box opportunity. Wasn't a problem for them, but it is for me. See, I never had no mentors. I grew up too close to uproar with TT and Grandma Molly, product of poverty. So when he grabbed Angie's neck, I put four up in his chest. The black woman I protect, no, she wasn't my girl. I do the best that I can to overstand, but it's hard being a black boy up in this world. And they told me life can be easy. They told me life can be hard. They told me life can be easy, but for they have set us apart.
Come on, somebody. Come on, somebody.
So that was good. That was 6 minutes. Waiting for my voice to come back, but I did it anyway.
You did great. You did great. You have a lot inside of you that I know you want to share with the world. So where do you see, you're here now. Where do you see yourself in 5 years from now?
To be honest, where I see myself in 5 years from now, on TV, and giving my gifts to the world. How I've always dreamed, giving them music, giving them raps, giving them dance, and giving them even more than that. Mm-hmm. So that's the goal.
For the community that you're in, what do you need needs to be addressed?
Oh, a lot.
For they can have the same dreams that you have, the same aspirations that you have, the same goals that you have. Maybe not the same, but something like that, other than just staying in the hood in the Westside.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna say this as well: the Westside ain't bad either.
No,
it's good, and there's bad in every neighborhood.
Absolutely.
So how can we? What do you think right now needs to be addressed?
There's a lot of things that need to be addressed. That's a multifaceted question, because there's levels to it. And what I would say to anybody that's listening is, if you want to help, you have to start with what you're most concerned about and where your gifts lie. So, like, for example, we got medical problems, we have economic problems, we have educational problems, we have like spiritual problems where people's energy is off, mental health, things like that. And everyone that's here on this planet has a gift in some area, whether they recognize it or not. And for those who want to help, they can either get into it by where their gift is, like if they're gifted at teaching, like me, or if they're gifted with health, they know how to help heal people, they know how to work with medicine, or if they're gifted with arguing and dealing with intellect and problem solving, they can get into law. Mm-hmm. It's just it's different levels to it of where we need help. Leadership, even in the education system. Like I said, you're a good teacher or you're a good principal, or you can create you know how to create a safe space. You know how to organize people to create a safe space for people to enrich themselves. Mm-hmm. Get in where you fit in. And if you don't want to necessarily move with your gift, move with what bothers you the most. Mm-hmm. And the last example I'll give for that is, like, there was this guy, I forget his name, but he was on a TED Talk, and he was African, and he was from South Africa. And he had said he's seen a pollution cloud in South Africa. He'd never seen one before. And he was an engineer, but that bothered him. But he didn't know anything about climate studies and like how to, that. So what he did was, because that was a problem with him, he kind of paused on his career just a little bit, and he went and started meeting people that was in the sciences that could help address that problem. And then he ended up birthing a business that combined engineering with climate change, and they developed an app that could read the clouds in the sky and tell how dangerous they were, and help find solutions to eradicate the air pollution. But that wasn't because that's where his gift wasn't in air pollution. His gift was in engineering.
Right.
But because it bothered him so much that he knew that this cloud could cause sick. He said it himself. This cloud could cause sicknesses worse than AIDS and cancer.
Wow.
And I don't want this for my people. Like, why is this over here? We have to do something. So saying that to my people too, like, even if you find you're gifted in another area, whatever area of where we have problems in the Black community is calling you, go forth. Because that's how we can solve the problems.
That's awesome.
I know that was probably kind of long-winded, but
no, but that was so good. That was so good. Any words of wisdom that you give the audience that's watching you right now?
I guess it would just be piggybacking off of that. If you feel called to cause change and you feel stuck, all you have to do is ask yourself what's bothering you the most about your community. And that's where you start. And my last word of wisdom would be for anybody that has a dream out there, or you know that God put something in you and you're supposed to do it, by all means, don't stop. Go for it. Because it's so many different ways God can give you what he showed you when you were a child, or what he showed you in your head that he wants you to do. So you have to keep going by any means necessary. You can't let nothing stop you, not your self-doubt, circumstances, nothing.
Awesome. And a memorable quote.
A memorable quote. I'm a quote hoarder, so that's hard. I think I'll use one that I just recently read to some of my students in my Young Changemakers class. I teach Young Changemakers, which is a leadership development class. And in one of the quotes in the curriculum, I'm paraphrasing, I'm not going to say it correctly, but it was basically like, don't define yourself by, don't feel, success isn't what you do. Success is more like, I'm paraphrasing it terribly, but like success, you are successful not because of what you do, but because of who you are. So like a lot of people feel like, I gotta do. And it's like, no, if you're being exactly who you are called to be, stuff's gonna get done, and that's success. Because if you get allowed to just be who you are, then you're being successful because you've given already, versus trying to focus on doing. Are you being who you called to be? Or are you just creating stuff? So that would be my word of wisdom. Make sure that you are being who you are. And you'll know you being who you are because it'll feel good. You'll feel accepted. You'll feel loved. You'll feel like God is all around you because God is love.
Amen. Amen to that. Last question.
Yes.
If you had a superpower, what would it be?
To heal people's broken hearts. I would touch the whole planet because I think that Earth could be the most rockinest planet in the galaxy, but we don't operate in love. We operate in so many different other energies, and that's why this world is depressing. And only certain people experience the magic, but I think that the whole world can experience the magic.
And you're helping with that.
I would hope that I'm helping with that.
Well, Del Marie, thank you for coming down to the Community Leaders podcast. I appreciate this interview, and it was awesome. And you're awesome.
Thank you. Ditto.